in helping young people. He runs Card Monroe Company. He's retired now, but he was the president of Card Monroe. And UTC golf team wouldn't be alive probably without Mr. Card. The child needs an education. He's going to see to it they get one. And he's a big contributor to UTC athletics, and not only athletics, but academics as well.
Chattanooga Eagles will be hosting the Dalton Dangers Saturday night live here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM beginning at 6:45. Sam Jordan, News Talk 92.7 Sports
Traffic,
Now.
news, and information. Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect some clouds, but more very warm weather out there through your afternoon. Any spotty showers staying mainly to our west. Highs upper 70s. Tonight, lows 60 to 63. Another record breaker expected Friday. Highs up around 80. A few early showers Saturday. Highs back into the 70s. The Battle of Songs is coming to the Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga Saturday, March 3rd at 6:30 p.m. featuring the McCameys, Karen Peck and New River, the Primitive Quartet, and Airline. For tickets, 800-745-3000. And I'm Snore Gene 12, Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core.
95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM.
Get ready for country music legend T. Graham Brown.
I tell it like it used to be.
Saturday, February 24th, 7 p.m. at the Colonnade in Ringgold, Georgia. T. Graham Brown with special guest Robbie Hopkins. Tickets on sale now at colonnadecenter.org. Get your tickets now for T. Graham Brown.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio.
Hey, this is Cindy's Choice Show. You are listening on 92.7 FM, or maybe you tuned in on 95.3 FM HD4, or TuneIn Radio. TuneIn Radio is an app you can download and hear Nooga Radio anywhere, anytime across the world, as well as Shoutcast and YouTube. We're live streaming on YouTube. Oh, the camera's there. And on Facebook as well. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. And I'm Cindy. I am your host here on the Cindy's Choice Show. And it is Cindy's choice to make a positive impact in our community. It is Cindy's choice to be brave and make a difference. I have a great guest joining me today that just exemplifies that tremendously. Dr. Banks, Dr. David Banks is back with me today. Hi, Dr. Banks.
Hello. How are you, Cindy?
I'm doing really great. I'm just so honored and thankful that you could join me again today.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Awesome. And Dr. Banks is a professional certified coach, and he's an author. And we're going to jump in and talk about all kinds of things today. So stay tuned. But first, a quick shout out to our awesome sponsor, Chicken Salad Chick.
I love them.
They're the best. Everybody loves them.
Yes.
Or if they haven't tried it, they haven't tried it. But if they've tried it, they love it.
That's right.
And Chattanooga loves it. There's 3 locations in town now. Chicken Salad Chick started at the downtown location with the convenient curbside pickup. Then there's the Gun Barrel location over by Target. And there's the Erlanger location in the Erlanger Mall, which is awesome. But of course, Chicken Salad Chick is Cindy's choice for the best catering options. Something
can I
for
add
everyone.
David's choice.
Yeah, what's it? I love it.
David's
You get it. I love it.
Yes.
So Cindy's choice and David's choice for the best catering. You heard that. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. And again, this is Dr. David Banks is joining me here today, professional certified coach and author. And I've had him on before. Was it just last week?
I think so.
Well, we just didn't have enough time together. So I've got Dr. Banks back with us for the full hour. And if you want to refer back, if you go to, if you Google Cindy's Choice YouTube and go to last week's show, you can see what we were talking about there. And I'll let you recap a little bit, Dr. Banks. We were kind of focused on women's issues.
Exactly. So I'm working on a project. In my profession, I spent a lot of time doing career development.
Right.
So I have a lot of ladies coming in, and I've been spending time talking with them and just really trying to figure out what can I do to just help move them forward. So I decided to start asking questions. A lot of these ladies are over 30. So what I've come to realize, a lot of these ladies, Cindy, they're living in regret.
Oh.
You know, they're looking back. Instead of them moving forward, they're looking back and realize, you know, there are some decisions I made when I was a teenager or when I was, you know, younger that I'm still regretting.
Right.
In relationships and finances. And, you know, they're saying, you know, Dr. Banks helped me find employment. And I'm thinking, before you can look at finding employment, you got to really deal with these things.
Exactly. And that's my testimony. That's why I love having people like you on, because I am so passionate about transformation. I have been through an incredible transformation. And it's once you've achieved that and you live that empowerment and you live that freedom, it's you want everybody else to understand that
very
too.
Much so.
And it's actually kind of hard the healthier that you get, because you do start to recognize things that are holding your friends back. And you want to help, but but they got
to be open.
Exactly.
They got to be open to want that.
And it's not always that's not always the best way to do that. That's why people like you are needed, and programs like what you offer are needed. We need a place to go together to kind of learn these things together. And I don't want to ever sound like I'm there yet.
Yes.
Oh, for goodness sakes, we're never there.
Well, it's a process. It's a process. But I truly believe, Cindy, you got to start the process.
Exactly.
If you just continue to stay in your hurt, stay in your past, you're never going to move forward.
Exactly. And what I love too about healing and making progress with transformation, as you do get to a certain level, you can help people that aren't as far as you. But then you're finding that the more you help people, the more it's reinforcing it in yourself, and the more you're growing as well.
Exactly.
I love that. And I love this analogy of the training hill for hang gliding. You start hang gliding on flat ground. You start running with the glider on flat ground and feeling it lift. Then you go up the hill about 10 feet and you run from there. And then you go up the hill about 20 feet. Well, at some point, you've worked your way up to a 100-foot hill. You're not running off the 1,500-foot mountain yet, but you're flying off, that 100-foot hill. But it was just 10 feet at a time that got you there. And pretty soon you're launching off the mountain. And then not long after that, you're soaring above the mountain.
I love it.
And I love that analogy for the transformation process. And there's 3 stages that Dr. Banks kind of focuses on, but I want to hang with this regret thing for a minute, because you talk about recovering from regret. So that is, now that I've recovered from so much, I'm like, oh my goodness. Just like what I just, I remember being on that flat ground, running that hang glider and just getting a little lift. And if you had any idea how far you have to go and that you have to take those baby steps, you would really, you might just throw your hands up right then. And I bet that's what you run into a lot, is people think it's too late for me. I'm too far gone. I'm too old.
Very much so. I hear that so much in there. They're thinking, Dr. Banks, how can I really recover from these mistakes that I've made? And I let them know, if you wake up every morning and you're still breathing, there is still hope.
Right.
There is still hope.
Something that was very powerful to me is I didn't get a clue till I was in my late 30s. And I'm so thankful that I didn't look at it like I'm too far gone. It's too late, because it has been a process. But I kept getting better in stages and stages and stages, and attracting better. So it was worth it, just to get started.
Exactly.
You're only going to improve. And I just want to encourage anyone that's listening right now. It's just never too late. You hear it all the time, but it just really isn't, because any kind of improvement is better than being the same place you are right now, or worse.
Very much so.
10 years from now.
And I think when it comes to how to recover from regret, first, Cindy, people have to recognize that they're living in regret. And sometimes that's a huge eye opener for people, because people would say, well, how do I know that I'm in regret? And I say, simply listen to your conversation. If everything that you talk about, I wish I would have made a better decision when I was younger. I should have done this when I was younger. So regret normally is found first by your conversation.
This is something that can be real tricky. I know a lot of friends, a lot of people that are come off very positive. And because, we know we're supposed to be positive. But as you get to know them more and you're around them more, you feel the negativity. And it's what you just said. They are not recognizing. They know that it's better to be positive and that, they want to be positive and focus forward, but they're still kind of stuck. And they keep reflecting back on the regrets and what they wish had been and what didn't happen. And you're right. They just don't realize it.
Exactly.
So that's why I love, like I said, I'd like to have you on periodically, and people tune in, and hopefully something we share here, and I can have some other people on that talk about this topic, that to help people recognize that positive is tricky. It's not just, how do you say it's not just something, you just decide I'm going to be positive.
That's right.
It's a process, and it really does take digging deep in.
Exactly.
And I shared with you as we opened the show about how I'm anxious to help people understand the empowerment of my homeless experience, because that's exactly what that was about. I did not go there on purpose. Trust me, I'm not that crazy. I'm known as a crazy creative, but not that crazy. But that's what it took for me to get down to those deepest roots of abandonment that I could not recognize, but I was looking, and that's what led me to a situation to help me really see what was holding me back. And I'm not that abandoned little girl anymore because of that experience. I'm truly empowered. And now, like I said, I want to help other people recognize that it's going to take some bravery. You're going to have to face some things to leave the past behind and go bravely forward into your awesome future.
Very good.
Awesome.
Excellent. Great.
Yeah. So that's one thing that Dr. Banks is focused on is recovering from regret. And I love that. The first step is just recognizing.
You have to recognize it.
I love it. And then another thing that you're focused on is redefining yourself.
Yes. What we found working with both men and women, but since we were talking about ladies, most people have really defined who they are based on where they've been. And that's not a good comparison, but most people, that's all they have. That's all the frame of reference they have. I grew up in this type of home. These are things that I was lacking in my life. I didn't have a father. I had some very traumatic issues in my life. So most people only view themselves based on where they have come from. And what I try to do is to help them understand that even before you had a past, there was a design. So helping them to really go back and kind of detach, because I tell people about their past. Your past is only something that you have been through.
Exactly.
But it doesn't define you.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't have to define you, because you were created before you even had a past. So I spend time really helping them because, the way we were originally designed, Cindy, God, he did a great job.
Yes, and exactly.
First, when I do a class, I always do this to help people kind of get a picture, because when I speak, not only do I want them to hear me, I want them to really see. So I always have people to stand up. And then I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to simply look down and just look how you are physically created. Your feet, which direction are they moving? Forward. When you look out, you look out. You look forward. So everything about you is designed to move in which direction? Forward. And then I help them understand, regardless of whatever problems they've ever had in their life, but when they wake up every morning, they are designed to move forward.
That's awesome, because a couple of things I want to respond to there. One, in redefining yourself, what I've experienced personally, and like I told you before the show, I'm not an expert. That's why I like to have experts on you on. I'm an expert in what I personally experienced. And my personal experience is redefining myself is I've become me. I've become really the me that I was originally designed to be.
Exactly.
And that simply put, that feels really good. It feels really good. The confidence that comes from that, the freedom that comes from that.
Isn't that exciting, Cindy,
and what
that
you
don't have to compare yourself to anybody. You've come to the place of realizing this is who I am. And when you come to that place, you don't have to think, oh, do I need to be taller? Do I need to be shorter? Do I need, you realize, because I always tell people, you are so unique. No one was ever like you, and there will no one ever be like you. Exactly. Somebody may look like you, but no one can ever be you. And Cindy, Cindy, you are an encouragement to me, because I'm in this field and I see so many women struggle to get where you have gotten.
It gets me emotional, because I'm extremely sensitive. Yet, I've learned a lot of people that are real sensitive, especially with women, they put that armor on the outside, but they put that, they get armored all the way through. So the heart gets hard too, because it's a protection mode. And as I've gotten healthier, I've allowed myself to stay sensitive. Yet I've got this armor that is not self-built. It's just developed from, it's an armor of confidence. It's an armor of freedom. It's not like this defense armor, but it still protects, so I can still be sensitive to others. And I really want to help people. And I'm just feeling so blessed and so honored. I love Nooga Radio for giving me a platform to reach out and bring attention to these issues and spotlight people like yourself that can help people.
I'm honored as well.
Something I wanted to speak on this as well is what's tricky about, like I had very, very rough upbringing. I was neglected at an early age. I was sleeping on the streets at an early age. I was everything that comes from not being protected as a little girl, I experienced to some degree. But here's the thing. A lot of positive came out of that because I had to take care of myself, and because I had to work early, I became very good at it. I had a great work ethic. I was in managing people our age, when I was in my 20s, and taking on a lot of responsibility and seeming very confident, and I was very capable and confident, but that fragile child inside that still needed to heal, it confused everybody, including me. And I think it's confusing to realize that you have an issue, and it really does. You can, when you're, like I said, when you're having success and you're looking around and thinking, well, I have everything I'm supposed to have, yet, well, why do I keep repeating some cycles that are getting, that only get me so far, or that, why am I still so sad? Why am I, it's tricky. It's just really tricky.
I think sadly, Cindy, that's why people like to stay in denial, because when you're in denial, you're not responsible. But when you have to come to the acceptance to realizing, there are some things that I'm dealing with. I am wounded. I am hurt. When you come to that place of acknowledging that, yes, something is going on in me, then I got to take some responsibility and do something about it.
Yes. And something I've recognized recently is, as a child, I was in a lot of denial. You believe whatever you're receiving as a child is love.
Exactly.
Especially if it's coming from your parents.
Of course.
And so you get conditioned for denial.
Very much so.
And it was when I kind of stepped into reality, I was about 30 years old, and it was devastating. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. And, no wonder it took me a while to process that and start recovering and changing my direction, because that didn't really happen until my later 30s. I got the reality hit in the 30s, but it took me to like 37-ish or so before it really kind of made sense of what had happened and me finding that new direction forward. And again, another tricky part I want to help people is I was always very positive. I didn't have a problem with regret. So that made it trickier for me too, because I wasn't focused backwards. I was focused forward, but I was still in these cycles of not understanding how to process what had happened to me and the effects that it had to me that kept me stuck because of not knowing how to define myself. That was key. Excellent. Is I came off so confident and capable and happy, and I was, but my self-esteem was not, it wasn't there. And I couldn't even recognize that.
Wow.
So that's really powerful. And you've got the 3 key areas covered. We're going to, in about 2 minutes here, we're going to take a break. And the third issue that Dr. Banks focuses on is rediscovering your purpose. And I'm excited to talk to Dr. Banks about that. But really quickly, I just want to remind you that you are listening to the Cindy's Toy Show here on 92.7 FM. And we are live streaming on Facebook as well and on YouTube. And we're so thankful for those of you that are joining us there. I want to give a good shout out. Keep up with us. Follow me on Facebook, Cindy Coldeering on Facebook. Because we've got some other great guests coming up. Emerson Russell, the president and CEO of MRC, national company with over 5,000 employees, started right here in Chattanooga as a security company. So Mr. Russell has a wonderful story, a very well admired and respected man here in town. Christy Gillenwater is going to be joining us later in the month. These are all coming up in the month of March. She's our new CEO and president for the Chattanooga Area Chamber of Commerce. And it's a really, really cool lady. I can't wait to introduce her to the community. She's making the rounds now at the council meetings, just like Dr. Banks. He's been making the rounds at the council meetings too. Excellent, excellent speaker. I'll get to see Christy Gillenwater speak at the Downtown Council next week. Are you on their schedule yet?
Not yet.
I'll work. I'll help you out there. I'll help you out there. And I love that Police Chief Roddy's coming back in March. He's been on with me before, and he's got some great things to talk about. He'll be back in March. And of course, Bob LaBelle, owner and president, founder of J103. It's the Partners for Christian Media, but Bob LaBelle will be joining me as well. So follow me on Facebook, Cindy Coldeering. I just do it on my personal page. Right now, it's just easier. And as I'm building my business page, I'm a personal relationship person. Dr. Banks, I love social media. I know that amplifies, but I'm still about what we're doing right here. Excellent. And that's what I love about radio. This is an extension of relationships to me. This is very, social. This is a conversation we would have if we didn't have microphones in front of us. And I just love that we can include others and they can benefit from the exchange. And again, we're going to take a quick break. We've got about 3 minutes. I'm going to reset the Facebook. So if you're hanging with us there, please join us for the next segment. And we're going to do the same thing with YouTube. And we'll be back. Thank you.